Good morning. Here we are on Friday morning. It's 24th today, 24th of July that be. And I'm here to take you through your Friday morning routine. Wake up and shake up routine this is. So if you're here on catch up, please feel free to let us know once you've completed that catch up. Put us a note or a message at the bottom of this Facebook catch up. Or alternatively, there's always YouTube where you can head onto there and literally you've got a selection so you can pick whatever morning routine you like, whether it's with myself, Bex or Dave. There's plenty in the library there on YouTube. Also, YouTube might be a bit easier for some friends, family to get stuck into as well if they're not very tech savvy and they don't want a Facebook page or whatever it is. So, we are not far off going live, people. Bex is in, Mrs. Perry's in. Good morning to you both. How's you doing today? What you been up to? Now, I'm going to sneakily drink my cup of coffee because this is absolutely fundamental to starting the day. Needless to say, the day started a little bit later for me this morning. Hence why this isn't gone already. So, I've got my super socks on today, so hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on around ankle, feet and toes. And crunchy crunch going on there already. Right, Red Rita's just come in. And who else? Is that just the three of you? Good morning. Yep, just three of you so far. But actually 11 people on the numbers at the top. Well, gone down to 9. Did they just see me and just leg it? Or have we got internet problems with some people this morning? Who knows? What I do know is, though, that this could be your first movement minutes, your first lot of movement minutes in the Snack Attack rucksack. If you've got one of those, you might have a movement minutes bag instead. Either way, these are additional movement minutes that we're bolting on to our normal goings abouts, our normal daily activities. And hopefully over the time that you've been with us, you've been noticing a difference to the normal activities that you're doing. You're finding them a bit easier. They're not tiring you out so much. You're able to do things for a bit longer before you take up a rest. And that can be anything from climbing the stairs, getting out in the garden, doing some tasks out there, or even walking around. I think you lot are allowed to do a bit more than Leicester, aren't you? Walking around shops, parks, etc. Right, we've got a few more signing in. Maya's in, and Dawn has just clocked in as well. Good morning. Did I see Vivian there as well, just coming in? Yep, morning. Pam, we've got second time for Pam. Well done you. Great to have you with us. What we normally do here, you probably noticed the other day, everyone comes in, everybody says hi. You have to listen to me for a little while before we do a 3, 2, 1. Dawn and Bex will probably be putting up some additional comments as we go through each movement that we do in today's routine. And they'll just put some extra bits and pieces that's relevant to that particular movement for you to take up as well. So we're coming at you from all directions. Me from here and then from there. We've got Trevor in as well. Ready and waiting, off to the beach for a walk. Lovely. Sounds great. You're not that far, are you? Is it about 15-20 minutes drive from the beach for you, Trevor? Right, Vivian's in. Who else has come on? Here we go. Here's George. Morning, George. Here's Maddie. Ah, you were up early then. So you've already done a bit of up and about, moving about then. That's good. This should just see you through that bit more then. Here's Brian as well. Is Carolyn and Sheila? Have we got the boom boom flash of the collective coming in? Di's still on her holidays in Dartmouth. And she reports, headline of this morning, Di can get into her camper van much easier now. Fantastic news. Wendy's in. It's a damp start in Shrewsbury. Yep, Sheila's in, part of the collective. Odil's in. George is apologising to be a bit late, but it is 8 a.m, so we're going to do our 3, 2, 1 right now. 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome. My name's Kelsey Leverton from Later Life Training. This is your 8 a.m. morning routine of circulation boosting and joint mobility. And today be Friday, the 24th of July. So if you are new to these movement snacks, have a look first before you decide where you'd like to do these movements from, with it being in seated or standing and supported options. Right, let's get moving then. Bit sweet of coffee because I've not had time to drink it all today. Where are you moving from, people? Are you remaining in standing? If so, weight evenly distributed over both of your feet. Standing tall through your legs. If you're in seated, take some hip walk forward, so shifting the weight from one side of your hips to the other as you bring your bottom and your feet forwards. Hip distance apart here in seated as well. In standing and seating, have a think about what is happening around your middle. Try and lift up, sit up. The hips are left behind and the rib cage is lifting up further away from the hips. Shoulders round, back and down, lengthening through the entire spine, right out the top of your head. And that's just posture, isn't it? So when you're ready, in seated or in standing, let's start with some heel lifts, ankle pumps, leg pedals. They've got loads of different names. They all mean this though. Lifting the heels, shifting the weight, taking up some support if you need that, just as you get yourself going. None of the movements here in today's routine should be challenging for your balance. If they are, we just need to be mindful to do something about that. So either taking up support with one hand or both hands, or returning to a seated position. If you feel okay with that and you want to start lifting and clearing the feet up and away from the ground, then join me. Still lifting, lengthening through the posture. Just notice as your knees start lifting up, especially in seated, our posture can start to sink and turn and lean backwards somewhat. So keep lifting out of your hips there. Hands just lightly holding the chair if that feels better for you. Keep going with that. You're still commenting. I've just clocked that Bex has called me Kermit feet. They're like, it's like a toxic kind of glow, isn't it? If you feel all right there, bring in an arm swing. If you want to stop your feet marching as you bring in arm swings, then that's absolutely fine. You can either keep them going or stand them still, seated or standing. If you want to bring both arms in, but you're considering your balance, then hips just lightly behind you, leaning onto something, and that will allow you to move your arms and feel that bit more steady. In the chair as well, if you feel like you can move your arms a bit bigger, as your shoulders and muscles and joints get a bit looser, then have a go at making arm marches, leg marches a bit bigger. That might kick in an extra bit of effort, so if that makes you start to huff and puff, bring it down to a lower level. We don't want to be huffing and puffing by the time we've done this 1 or 2 minutes of Circ Boost. We are getting everything moving though, so we are switching everything on. Our heart and lungs are moving a bit faster, our blood circulation is as well, and we are getting some warmth hopefully into muscles and joints. Take a pause there, re-establish your base so you're grounding with your feet into the floor, and if you're in chair, of course you'll be grounding with your hips into the chair as well. Alright, couple of deep breaths, a couple of sneaky swig of coffee. Shoulder circles. We'll do the lifts in preparation first. Now, shoulders are essential to us being able to move our upper limbs with ease and with good range. So we need to really maximise on the range of movement here, best we can. So arms are loose by the side of you. You might be leaning against something, you might be freestanding, you may be in the seat. Arms long and loose, lifting the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. We want about 3, 4 or 5 of each one of the movements that we do in this morning's routine. So a smooth movement up and a really smooth press down with the shoulders away from the ears and sliding your shoulder blades down the back. Feel the sensation of the shoulder blades sliding down. We imagine that they're going to sit into the back pockets. When you're ready, take a pause there, lengthen through your neck, and let's get the shoulders moving in a backward circular movement. Just show you from the side there. Remember, your hips might be against the support here, or come down into seated. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and down, and we want a bit of a pinch with the shoulder blades before we slide them down into our back pockets. Now, there might be a bit of clicking and clunking, there might be a bit of stiffness around. One side might feel looser or stiffer than the other. This can happen as long as it's not painful through any part of that range, then we can hopefully work through it. So take a pause there, that should be enough of shoulder circles. So that has essentially set us in a more open posture. And now we're going to have a think about where we can move our head to establish a better posture for our head on top of our neck. So we use chin tucks for this. Now I'm down onto my knees, please don't join me. Have a sit down or remain in standing. You might want to hold on to whatever's in front of you for a bit of support. But here we're putting the fingertips onto the chin. This is what we call our biscuit tin chin, because we want to double or triplicate our chin as we tuck our chin inwards, and that essentially will encourage lengthening at the back of the neck and recover. Normal head position for you this is, and then we tuck in for a second time and release. So you can guide your chin back like I'm doing, or you can leave your fingertips there and pull your chin in and away from your fingertips. Now, some of you might not have that much range here. It depends what's happening around the neck. It depends what posture we've had for a number of years. So this movement you can do if you're lying down in bed with a not very big cushion behind you. Have a go at noticing the gap between your neck and the bed, and then trying to decrease it by tucking in, lengthening the neck. Take a pause there. I've thrown you a curveball this morning. We normally do head turns before chin tucks, don't we? Head turns are coming up now, so have a think about how you might feel when turning your head. Sometimes we can turn the head and it can make us feel a little bit unsteady. Make sure your base of support is sufficient for you, so feet hip or shoulder width apart. And what we're aiming to do here is, we've shorted out the shoulders and the neck, we're turning the head, pausing in the middle, just reset your posture, spend a moment there on resetting the posture. 3, 4 or 5 head turns there. Take it smooth, and if you find that your trunk or shoulders start moving, then we've gone a bit too far. We want to take it through its fullest range without any other body parts getting stuck into it as well. So take a pause in the middle, take a moment with your posture, readjust and lengthen. Smooth movement, not too pacey. but to the fullest range. Now head turns, trunk twists, arms moving around to do stuff is what movement is all about with regards to the upper body in lots of different daily tasks. So, done the top trio then. Let's head into just a bit of circ boost. Holding on, one hand on the swing there, one arm on the swing even, and then changing sides at some point. We're not going to spend long here. This is just a quick injection of circ boost. We're moving into the trunk now. So if you're in seated, just have a go at one or two of arm swings. Well, arm swings, double arm swings, aren't they? They're kind of a rowing pattern. In standing, have a go, hips against something if that feels better for you. So we are encouraging a bit of a twist here, and this movement leads us in nicely to our trunk twist. So let's set it up. Before we set you off, a setup is crucial. Feet around shoulder distance apart, so they're just that bit wider for all of these trunk related movements. Hips are forwards. If you're freestanding, your arm positioning might look like this. Shoulders down, neck lengthened. Take a pause in the middle. Take the head with you. Each time you turn, take a small glance across your shoulder. So in standing, holding on, you can just be alternating sides there, letting the arm come loose by the side of your body. Both of those arm positions can be taken up in a seated position, of course. We're twisting and turning just through the trunk. Take a pause and a posture in the middle. Take a moment to reset. So the trunk is absolutely fundamental in every movement that we do. So it's important to loosen it, loosen the joints around the spine. The muscles will in turn get somewhat looser as well. And this will be accompanied with Bex's side stretch that you do later on. And the shoulders benefit from an extra chest stretch, again in the 4 p.m. routine. So one thing kind of helps out the other. How are you doing there? Are we ready for the bends? So adjusting the feet then. Get the weight even over your feet and even over your sit bones. Sit bones stay flat, firm, concreted in place. We are in concrete from the waist down here as well. So nothing moves. We just tilt to the side, lift and lengthen in the centre. So you might feel a bit of a pull, a bit of a lengthening in the side as you lean over. Keep your weight central, best you can. If you find that you are shifting as you're bending over to the side, then try not to bend quite as far. Just come to that kind of sticking point, I call it. It's a sticking point before anything else shifts and we kind of start to transfer the weight or cheat a bit or compensate for what we're doing. Alright, so hopefully feeling a bit looser with the twists and the bends. Back extensions coming up. We're going to take up some support for back extension as we will be tilting backwards. In seated, if you want to have your hands on the thighs, just let the arms relax, the chin's tucked in, just re-establish that chin tuck, neck lengthened position here, and then we're aiming to feel as if we're lifting and lengthening, and then looking ahead as you extend backwards. So knees are soft here in standing. Keep them there. They will try and straighten when you're not quite thinking about them. So just reset and set them up once again. Lift, lift, lift. Chin's tucked down and we're extending at the top end of our back extension. And this position counteracts all of those forwards flexion positions that we can end up in, whether we're walking with a stick, a frame, or whether we are standing doing stuff over the counter, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, etc. Okay, take a pause there. Let's have a go with some ankles. Ankles, feet and toes are crucial and fundamental to improve our walking patterns, and also to allow our ankles to negotiate any uneven surfaces that we might be walking across. My tufty grass in the garden, for one. Uneven pavements. Pavements aren't very forgiving at the moment, aren't they? There's a lot of higgledy-pigglediness going on with pavements out there. So looser, more flexible ankles can really help your feet to adjust and move around any uneven surfaces. Here's your seated option. So we can sit tall, active posture, point the toes down and dig the heel down. This is the same in standing as well. The only thing here is we need the standing leg to be closest to your support, and really all of the weight stays over the standing leg so that we can lightly tap the toe and lightly tap the heel. If that feels a bit wobbly for you, come down into seated. Last option in seated, hip walking back. If your posture needs a bit of a break as well, come and join me here. Lifting the leg, knees soft, ankle is lower than the knee there, and we're pointing and pulling back. You can come all the way back in your posture. I feel like I'm leaning backwards though, and I'm halfway off the screen. So I'll just sit tall here, pointing and flexing. So 3, 4 or 5 of those on each side. Have a go at changing sides there. I better do my other side as well. I'm going to hold on here. Or not hold on, it depends how your balance feels. If you feel steady, then you may not need your support. You might need to have it close just in case though. That should do nicely. All right, we are done. Our morning routine is complete. So 17 past. So we've done about 15 minutes. 12-15 minutes so of movement minutes. They're yours. Bag them, keep them, sling them over your shoulder and take them out into your day. Anything that felt good for you there, or anything that felt particularly stiff, an area of your body, take a repeat at some point this morning. And especially if you've been sat down for a while, you're having a slower start. That gives muscles and joints just that extra opportunity to stiffen up. So extra circulation boosting if you've been sat for a while perhaps, and of course any of these mobility moves work better when your muscles and joints are warmer rather than stone cold. Take care you lot, go out, be good, have a great morning. Dave will be with you at 12 noon. What has he got in store for you today, I wonder? A progress check maybe? Pens and papers at the ready, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.